Welcome to the Velvet Room, my friends. It is I, Star Six Wars 1. And here today I am going to be talking about the final bonus character video for Persona 3 vs. 11 Eyes. For this one we're going to be talking about all the characters of the Velvet Room. Now, this will be a bit of a shorter video because there really isn't much to talk about, but I felt it was necessary to talk about these characters since they do leave an impact. First up we have Elizabeth, voiced by Tara Pallant. By the way, for those of you who do not know, she is very memorable, if I do say so myself. And if you want to know where the comedy of Persona 3 can come from, she is comedy gold. Especially if you do some of her requests to take her out on and see the city. That way you'll be able to learn more about her, and she learns more about the world. I think Elizabeth is one of the most interesting characters of Persona 3 just because of how in the dark we are about what she is. Really, we're never exactly sure. We guess she's human-ish, but she's not ever human, and it's never revealed. And I actually really like the mysteries behind her, and the intrigue, and the more alien abilities she seems to have. Also, as a super boss, she is the most powerful boss in the game, outdoing the Reapers. I'm not joking, I've tried facing her in battle before and lost every time. No joke. That's all well and good though. Now, there isn't much more to her character, unfortunately. There's a lot of comedy and a lot of personality to her, but that's really about it. You can do requests for her to gain items, be able to fuse certain personas, but essentially that's about it, so there's really not much more to talk about. But there is one final thing I should mention, not necessarily about her, but why she's not in Persona 4. In Persona 4 you meet her sister, Margaret. Now, I'm not going to talk about her too much, even though she is a super boss in Persona 3 Portable. I do find that because she's a super boss I have to give her at least a mention, but there's nothing more to it than that. But they're both sisters, and apparently during the time periods of Persona 3 to Persona 4, she left the Velvet Room for mysterious reasons. That's more explained in Persona 4 Arena, but that's a whole different subject, and I'm not willing to get into it today. Maybe another day. And finally, we have the master of the Velvet Room himself, Igor. Now, Igor is a different voice actor from everyone else I've mentioned previously, and he's the last new voice actor to be mentioned. His voice actor is Dan Warren. Now, Dan Warren is more well known for a lot of 80s, 90s, and early 2000s works, but he's been around in anime for quite a long time. However, the roles I know him the best from other than Igor would have to be Chapel the Evergreen from Trigun, and the creepy Caster from Fate Zero. Just either way, Igor is actually an interesting character in and of himself, because he's the only reoccurring character from the entire Persona franchise. He's been around since the very first game, and is still around even today. His job is to fuse personas for you. That and give basically the mechanics of the game. That's much about it, unfortunately. He's more interesting when you get to actually see him and wonder where his origins came from. You'll actually have to play all the Persona games to really get somewhere with that. But other than that, there's not much to him. He's just there for more mechanics of the game, so unfortunately, yeah, there's not much to say. Sorry if I don't seem to be talking about the characters too much, but again, there's not much to say here. But I personally really like the Velvet Room, and I find it very intriguing. That's all that needs to be said. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1, and I'll see you guys next time.